What is up, student grow group leaders? I'm so excited that you have decided to lead a grow group. It's one of the most fulfilling and honestly honorable things that we can do in student ministry is get to do life with these students week in, week out, and just really get to pastor them. So this training should be pretty quick. But it's really just to equip you to learn how to not only lead a grow group, but just navigate some situations that could potentially come up with students within a grow group. Because when we build relationship, the transparency opens up and we really get to have those open doors to have those deeper conversations with students where additional harder conversations might arise. So in this, we're going to be covering mission, boundaries and guidelines, and pastoral care. So in all of that, it's broken up into 3 different sections to make it quick and easy for you guys, with some questions after to follow up, just to make sure we're all on the same page. So starting with mission, why do we do a grow group? Having that why before you. So for me, like, my why is I didn't have small groups. I didn't have people to really relate to in that season of life of high school or middle school. So that fuels why I do what I do. So having that, like, whether it's written out, but just really keep it in your mind, in front of you through that grow group season, because by the end of the 12 weeks, sometimes it is exhausting, but there's, again, nothing more rewarding. So when we keep our why before us, we're just reminded of why God put us in the position, because at the end of the day, the Lord has called you to this and He's equipped you. So it's just keeping that why. So what do grow groups do? Grow groups do 3 main things. And so I have my notes on the side, which correlate with the notes that you have. But the first thing is connection. Grow groups create a smaller environment for students to be able to connect. Because at a breakaway, it's really difficult to connect on that deep level. So grow groups are obviously broken up by interest. You've hopefully maybe even chosen what your grow group is, but that connection aspect, like in 1 Corinthians 9:22 says, yes, whatever a person is like, I try to find common ground with him so that he will let me tell him about Christ and let Christ save him. So having that common ground, like week 1 is always where I'm like, okay, what's the common theme between all these students? And especially when it's interest-based, it makes it easier. Number 2 is protection. We protect these students. Our job is to spiritually protect them, spiritually cover them. That includes praying for them, calling them out, like really building that relationship. Students are covered in prayer and taught the Bible each week, so they're able to clothe themselves in the full armor of God. It's not our responsibility to do that for them, but through grow groups, they're equipped to do that. 1 John 3:16, we know what real love is because Jesus gave up his life for us. So we also ought to give up our lives for our brothers and sisters. So again, it is a sacrifice, but we get to have a part to play in protecting these students in the season of life that's so critical for them in their walk with Christ. The third thing is growth. We provide a healthy environment for spiritual growth. Grow groups are where students find freedom and truly get to know God on a deeper level. We want to do life with them, and growth happens in the context of relationships, which is what grow groups are. And so Proverbs 27 says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. So obviously every student's on a different journey. They're all at a different place. Even if you had all 6th graders, they're all on a different journey. But seeing the growth together is so awesome. So things to help you succeed, some things to know as you're going in to a grow group season. We would just want to ensure that these environments are safe, they're welcoming for these students. It might be their first time in a church setting. And so number 1 is pray first. That's always where we start, is prayer. Nothing we do flourishes or grows without prayer. So being intentional to not only take the prayer request, but just be led by the Spirit in what He wants you to pray over your students each and every week. Number 2 is contact your group weekly. So I find it easiest to make a group chat so we can share prayer requests in there. We can send updates or gate codes and the information, but just really keeping that contact throughout the week so everyone's on the same page. Number 3, encourage spiritual growth. Part of our role as grow group leaders is to constantly encourage spiritual growth, healthy things grow. So this could look like having those moments where it's like, okay, I know this student has a gift in this area or should be serving on a team, like helping give them their next steps. Number 4, connect them to church life. So if Grow Group is the first thing that they've done, making sure that, okay, hey, come with me to Breakaway and sit with me. Or on a Sunday, like join us in the Student Connect Corner so you can meet other students from your school. Different things like that to really get them ingrained into the church, because past high school, when they're in college, they're going to be like, okay, I know I'm finding a church that has that church life, so I have that community. Number 5, keep roster and attendance. This just helps us know what's working, what's not working, how to support you better, what the students are looking for, what season of life are they in, what journeys are they on. As we keep attendance, it just holds us all accountable to make sure we're being consistent. So leading good discussion. Good discussion starts with good relationships. So here are a few tips. Spend time in preparation. There's been weeks, in all honesty, I show up not prepared. And it shows. The girls and the boys can tell. So make sure you prepare, like spend time with the Lord. Ask open-ended questions. So it just allows room for the students to answer versus yes, no, and then it's an awkward pause. Avoid doing all the talking. So the 70-30 rule that is talked in the Grow Group leader training, keep the discussion positive. So if sometimes they can take a critical turn, if they had a long day at school, the drama can be real. So just keeping that discussion uplifting, life-giving, words of life, carefully leading that discussion back to the topic. When sensitive issues or maybe complex questions arise, having a moment of being like, hey, can we talk about that after group? Because the time and place is not in front of everybody, especially if you have a wide range of ages or it's co-ed, like certain conversations just don't need to be had with everyone. And then encourage the students to read scripture, pray aloud, and encourage one another. So really calling them higher, pushing them outside of their comfort zone, because they will look back and really appreciate that part of the Grow Group of like, I grew because my leader called me out. And that's what I look back on from high school when I was in small groups. So that is all the mission. It's just leading good discussion, really praying first, covering your students and yourself in prayer. But we're going to move on to the boundaries and guidelines.